Get ready for it.
Here it goes. Now that was a good one. When you least expect it.
Okay, I'm back.
Better?
A little. What do you think? A little bit better? Yeah, I got my face on.
Please, come here. Come here. Here you are. Here's the girl. This is really good. That's the one.
Yes! World. That's my girl right there. See? Her and Izzy, they don't want. Hello, everyone. Hey, how y'all doing? And look, I am getting a revelation from the Lord about myself. Now, I hope it helps somebody else, as usual. But when I had to come on and talk to you about donating money to my ministry, I didn't realize I had a ministry. That's how God and I roll. I'm walking along on air. Sometimes I don't even know I am walking on air. But when I had to do the way that you all could give me donations, I had to go on PayPal. I had to fill out a sort of redo it, whatever. And one of the things I had to do was to put down the name of my organization or my ministry or my whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, Lord, I don't know what you want me to call it. I remember when I lost my email address. It crashed or whatever, and I couldn't use it, an old email address. And I sat down at the computer, everything renewed, to think of what would be my new email address. And the Father said, call it Children's Writer 100. And I thought that was awfully strange. But I did it. And it's just been the right thing. It's just been great. Children's Writer 100 at gmail.com. But so when I went on to PayPal and I'm in this sort of holding thing, oh, Lord, I don't know what I should call this. I was thinking, one thing I hate is calling it the name of the person, like Joyce Meyer Ministries or Andrew Womack Ministries. I just think that's so ostentatious, or whatever my issues were. And the Holy Spirit said, but, sorry, it is Princess Carol Ayo Durodala's ministry. I was like, I don't like that. But it is. And he's been dealing with me just suddenly. Now, I did the PayPal thing a while ago. But he's just dealing with me this week, I think, maybe and last week. Princess Carol Ayo Durodola's ministries. Princess Carol Ayo Durodola Ministries. Princess Carol Ayo Durodola Ministries. And I have to get into it. If you're out there like me and you're just like, no, I don't have nothing. I'm nobody. I'm just... God is not into that crap. He's into your majesty, your amazingness, your magnificence. Okay? You Queen Esther, you. And so I was like, well, what does Princess Carol Ayo Durodola Ministries do? I had to ask. Because, you get lost. And, he's like, you blog. You actually, by now, being on your 60 whatever episode of your video walk blogs, have a show, you might as well call it. And it's a TV show. Light, camera, action. You're on, you're talking. People are commenting. People are tuning in. I went through the thing on YouTube again to the little map to see people. Countries I forgot were there. I'm like, oh, what country is that? Oh my goodness, they're viewing me there. Anyway, so that's always an eye opener when I see new people listening to me. And Of course, I am preaching the gospel. Well, teaching. Of course, I'm preaching the gospel. Of course, I'm teaching the word. Of course, what is my main focus of my teaching? Like I said in the last one, Andrew Womack said, I can only teach you what the Lord teaches me. He's teaching me about faith. He's teaching me about walking by faith. It is a very big deal, I think. I mean, if you're not going to walk every minute of your day trusting the Lord and listening to what he says, you're going to be making mistakes all through your life, mumbling and bumbling and falling down and stumping your toe and getting up and carrying on for the rest of your life. Who wants that? So I'm really excited to be getting grown up into what this work is. And so here's where the Lord has and I have come to. Maybe after 2 weeks of dealing with the ministry actually being called Princess Carol Ayoduradola Ministries, which I had to have it there on PayPal, you know. So I had to see it in print. Well, she's teaching about faith. She's writing children's books. She has children's books she actually gives away for free that she has written and illustrated. I have the Faith Walk book that's about to come out about my faith walk. I talk about my knitting and crocheting. The Lord's saying we're going to do more with that. The knitting and crocheting teaches so much to me, and the Holy Spirit is able to bring so many wonderful points about walking with him through the making of these textiles that it's just a whole sermon. There's so many times I'm looking at instructions about how to knit something, crochet, or put some textile designs together, and I'll say there's a sermon in that, figuring that out. I will give you an example. Here is something I'm making. Isn't that amazing? It's just a square. It's a little knitted square. I tell you, it took quite a big deal to knit this thing. The back looks like that, kind of weird, okay? There's nothing puffing it up. It's all just following the instructions. And I haven't finished what I'm going to do with it. And I'm not really positive what I'm going to make of it if I do a couple more. But I'm starting another one. But in making this thing, I start from the middle on a circular needle. And I keep going round and round. And you follow these instructions that I found on the internet. And you can hardly see what you're doing when you're knitting that thing. So I sort of knitted blind, because it's going around in a circle and it's all scrunched up in the circle until it really gets to the last row. And I didn't cast off. As you see, I discovered, someone gave me an idea online. I just put waste yarn through the back for knitters so that it's still live stitches, and I'll then figure out how I'm going to finish that. But it was a sermon. You may have to go blind and not know what on earth God is doing or where you're going. You cannot see in front of you. Thinking of my girlfriend Renee in Florida. You may not be able to see where you're going, but you have to go blind. Go at it blind, because in the end, you may find that you have knitted a fabulous piece. Isn't this piece the bomb? I so love it. I don't know what it's going to do. Look, leaves that are 3D. I actually did that. Is that awesome? Anyway, love you. Okay, I can't help but tag something on to the end of that, because let me show you what that motif looks like. Look at it. Hot mess. It's on my little needles. See? Those are my little markers. And I'm knitting this thing I just showed you. Okay, that's the way it's gonna look. That was my first trial. This is my second trial. Even better. And here it is on the needle. I know, right? You're like, okay, these are my markers. I use my other color fillers. Here are my knitting needles. And that's what I mean by you may not know what God is doing in your life. You may not understand what's happening, but you're just going to have to go blind. You're going to have to knit blind. The thing looks a mess, but if you keep on going, you'll see how everything's going to work out great. Everything's going to work out great. And you're going to have a wonderful piece. This is my second trial. See, it looks better. I ran out of green or blue, whatever that is. So I added the pretty pink. And it's gonna be great. I don't know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be something wonderful. It already looks pretty. God does give you mercy, though. He does have mercy on you and grace, and He lets you see some great advantages, and He lets you see some wonderful outcomes from your faith walk and your seed sowing. He actually lets you see a harvest, a flower, and wait till I'm gonna tell you a testimony that's happening in my life right now, my faith walk. So exciting. And I'll tell you in the next video or the video after that, after some time, as the Holy Spirit gives me permission to share with you testimonies of what is happening where you just think there's nothing. Suddenly, a beautiful plant comes up, a beautiful flower, a fabulous tree grows up where you thought that nothing could happen. So you might be going blind, you might not know what's going on. Your stuff might look squirrely and messed up like that. Scrunched together. What if they scrunched together? I love you, Renee. I know you may feel a little scrunched together down there in Florida, going through some stuff. So pray for my girlfriend Renee to think about it. But it's gonna come out one day. It's pretty. It's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be nice. It may not look fabulous, but that's what can happen. But it's going to look great. It's just going to. You'll see. It's gonna be wonderful.